Welcome to Love of the Game. I'm your host, SJ, and joining us for our NBL1 East show is William Cranston-Lown from the Maitland Mustangs. Now, before we start the show, I'd like to thank our major sponsor, Precise Accounting, for a dream teammate that will get you bang for your buck during this tax season. Give Precise Accounting a call. And they also help big and small businesses, so whatever you need, give the team from Precise a call. Now, Will, thank you for joining the show today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Beautiful. Look, I want to talk to you real quick about your 2023 season. You got NBL1 East MVP and All-Star 5. What was that accolade like for yourself?
Yeah, it was good. Knowing all the talent that we had in the league, it's good to know that all the work that's been put in, like to be put in the names with those guys that were in the All-Star 5 and the guys who were in the finalists to make it. It's a pretty good achievement to have, and something that it's been a goal for a while now. So yeah, it was good.
Beautiful. Look, back-to-back grand final losses. Now I know that would sting, but you guys have started this season on fire, 7-0. What has worked well for you guys this year from previous years?
For starters, we started training really early this year. Like I think we started October. We started putting scrimmages together, started putting trainings together in October. So we've been playing with each other for, I'm sure, probably longer than most other teams already. And our practices have been really tough. So we're just getting after it, getting after every single one of them. A whole lot of trash talk in practice. It gets everyone going, keeps everyone competitive. So I think because we all have that edge right now that we can't lose 3 in a row. We can't. So we've just been trying to do anything we possibly can to avoid that situation again.
Yeah, now I know back-to-back grand final losses would hurt, and round 3 you got to verse the Sutherland Sharks again, 85-82 winners. I think Billy Parsons hit a mad dagger to win you that game. Did you guys circle that game early on?
Yeah, definitely. That was probably the first one everyone checks as soon as that schedule came out. You always gotta. You can never really let anyone feel like they're on top of you. Even going back to last season, they're a really good team. They know us really well, so we knew that one was going to be a dogfight. But it was good to get that one back. But they can't get us back again later in the season, that's for sure.
Now, I want to talk to you about your team because, look, when I see your sort of the stat sheets and things like that, there's no real one player that stands out. It's an all-round team effort. You also get production from your bench. Is that something that you guys all understand your roles within that team, or what makes it click?
Yeah, facts. I think, honestly, we go, you could say 12, 13 deep. We can pull youth leaguers up here anytime we have injuries or anyone that needs to play. We roll with whoever is just playing well that day. We really don't focus on, I don't know, I'm going to be top scorer every single game. Jimmy Hunter's going to be the best rebounder this game. We don't do any of that. It's just whoever's feeling good, give them the ball, go at it. We have people like Dan Milburn off the bench. He was 40 points a game in youth league a couple of years back. Now he's come off the bench. It's just people sometimes sacrificing roles because he could. And I'd say 7 or 8 of us that come off the bench of our team could be starters on any other team in this league. It's just a matter of just accepting the role and everyone just doing is pretty much what they're asked to do.
And is that a culture thing? Because I know how when a player comes into the squad, they kind of want to be the man and be kind of a contributor off the bat. But is that something where the whole team kind of knows exactly what the bigger picture is? Because as you said, you've lost 2 grand finals in a row. The big picture is that grand final. So is that a culture thing that you guys have set in stone over there?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it goes with we feel like assists feel better than buckets. So you see anyone on our team gets a bucket, our benches, every single person's happy on the bench. Like they just don't care as long as we're getting wins. Anyone of us, we might shoot horribly. That guy's still the happiest person after the game because we won. We've just kind of tried to move off, put stats aside. Let's just get these wins and handle it game by game.
No, beautiful. And definitely that's the way to go in a team sport. Now, I want to talk to you about some big wins that you guys have had this year. Big wins over the Inner West Bulls, Canberra and Albury. I want to talk about the Albury game in particular. The last game he's had, 113-89 victors, and your matchup against William Hickey. Now, I know that is a big matchup for, I guess, like a point guard yourself. Was that circled in?
Yeah, soak it in. That's my guy though too. So whenever I have a chance to verse him, it's always a special one because he's honestly probably the best player in the league. One of the hardest people to guard. So yeah, that was definitely a big one for us. We did a lot of scouting on him before that game, trying to just know his tendencies, all that stuff. Um, but that was a huge win for us because they had a really good team, really good imports, and yeah, we really studied hard on that one because we knew in Albury too they got a big ass crowd, so we had to go at those guys from the start. Don't let the crowd get involved.
Yeah, and I think you dominated that game, man. Hustled 4 steals, 24 points, I think 26 points. And your all-round package. Do you take pride in sort of providing the stat sheets, like getting the steals, rebounds, assists, and points? Like, when do you know your game's on?
Um, there's times I won't really feel like I know what I've got on the stat sheet, but there are times where I feel like I know where I've got to go on offensively. I might get like 3 or 4 buckets in a row, and it just feels really good. I know I'm going to have a good game, like if that happens early. And as far as steals go, I might have like 3 or 4 steals a game. I don't even really remember them. It's just like I might just be in the right spot on defense, stuff like that. But yeah, as far as rebounding goes, that really doesn't bother me at all. We've got too many big guys on our team. But yeah, it's handy having just everyone on the team that can just do whatever.
Yeah, I got to ask too, man. You have this little step back three that you do. I posted it up online, and a few of the boys were saying it was James Harden-esque. Do you work on that shot, and who do you kind of base your game around too?
Yeah, no, I work on that one a lot. I just honestly, it is that James Harden. Honestly, um, he was one of my favorite players growing up. Apart from LeBron, him, and I'd say even Westbrook. They're probably my favorite ones. But I just think you look at the NBA today. The most unstoppable players in the league all have that step back. Like Luka right now, he's just like no one can guard it. You know the step back's coming, you still can't block it. So I just try to put that in because I'm pretty small compared to everyone else. So I need ways to find open shots. So yeah.
Now, I've got to ask you, another new addition to the Maitland Mustangs was your college teammate, Christian Little, from Regis University up down there in Denver. How did that sales pitch go for you to recruit him down here?
Well, it was probably after the season a little bit. Our last import, Kev, there's some with his visa, all that stuff went on. Probably wasn't going to get him back because of that stuff. And I know finding an import is really hard because I don't know if you're the coach, you're going to tell them they're the guy on the team, all that stuff, egos, all that stuff is put aside. It's probably just like the hardest thing you could do when recruiting. But I knew, like just from when I was at college with him, I knew how much of a good teammate he was, and he doesn't care about none of that stats. He cares about winning, and I knew that's exactly what we needed because obviously 2 grand finals losses in a row. And I kind of just hit him up. I was like, bro, are you still trying to play? Like, because I don't know, he was trying to play during COVID overseas, but it was just too hard for him to get a gig because of the COVID and all that stuff. And I knew his passion for the game and stuff, and I knew he just still wanted to play. Sent him the message, and I didn't even need a second message. Straight away, he's like, I'm in. He's like, when am I going to be out there? That's exactly what happened.
And for a lot of the Australian fans that haven't seen much of Christian Little, what does he bring to the team?
But firstly, when I was with him, he's given me more confidence than anyone else ever has in the game. He brings so much energy as well. Like he'll be diving on loose balls, screaming, talking, getting everyone involved. Like it's just so much fun to play with him, and he's really unselfish too, which is the thing that I think is perfect for an import because he can get his buckets, and we want him to as well. But at the same time, he will literally feed off anyone. Try and get everyone else buckets, try and get everyone else involved. So you'll say he's honestly the best defender I've played with too. It's really hard to score on him. So he brings a bit of everything.
Yeah, beautiful. And especially if you're training with him, playing those one-on-ones, we hope your offensive game too. If you have a defensive hustle like that takes pride in that.
Yeah, that's true. But we had to stop guarding each other in practice. He kept fouling me. He got me headbutted the other day, and I had to go to the hospital. So we put a rule on that. We're not guarding each other anymore.
Ah, beautiful. Now we're going to talk a bit more about your upbringing and your love for basketball. At what age did it start, and why basketball?
Um, I was probably around 9 or 10, I think maybe. Um, my brother was just playing local comp, and I was just there shooting at halftime. And one of these other dads was there watching. He's just like, "Oh, you want to just fill in for our team tonight? We play." Like, yeah, sure. So hopped on in. I was I was somehow all right with it, like straight off the bat. And I was like, "Damn, it's pretty fun." And then he's asked me to just go try it for reps. So it just kind of just went from there. Just started playing under 12s at Bathurst from there. So that's where it first began.
Beautiful. And then look, New South Wales High School Male Player of the Year, Australian Youth Representative at under 20, under 18 Asia Cup Extended Squad. Why? Like, what made your game sort of take off than everyone else, like compared to all the other sort of teenagers your age and things like that? Like, what separated you from the rest?
I think a big thing for it is the love of the game. Like, I know a lot of people that have been really good, but just haven't really fell in love with it, and they just kind of just crash out, stop playing it. I've just always had. There's just something about it, something about playing, something about winning that's just feels so good, and it just I don't know, it kind of gets addictive. I just wanted to just keep getting better, so it gives me a chance to whichever team I'm on, the best chance at winning at whatever level it is.
And look, for a lot of Australian kids, especially, like playing college ball is kind of like a dream come true. So, how did that come to fruition for yourself? Like, how did you get recruited? Did you get an agent that said, "Look, this is what we're going to do"? How did it all work for yourself?
So Luke Cassidy from Central Coast, he's a point guard for them. He was like one of my best mates growing up during high school times and like just through all juniors and all that. His brother was the coach at the Centre of Excellence at the time, so he was helping me out. I don't know how that he was in connection with my assistant coach Scott Clark at Regis. I don't know how they knew each other, but they reached out to them, and I got through in contact with him, Mike Cassidy, which is Luke's brother. So he helped me out with that one. Got me got me in connection with them, and kind of just went off from there.
And how did you feel accepting that deal? Like, I know, especially like coming from like a country sort of town like Bathurst, going to like the big city of sort of like the USA and Denver. Did you have any sort of like feelings that you didn't want to do it, or what kind of propelled you to go, you know what, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to take my career forward?
Yeah, it was a bit of both. I had a few friends who are a little bit older than me who already went, and so I got a bit of the word of how it really goes down before going over there. But at the same time, like you never know what to expect. Every college is different at the end of the day, so it was good. It was scary at first. I'm not gonna lie, because like a completely different country, like even basketball wise, completely different game. So yeah, at first it was definitely scary and a shock, but it didn't take me long to adjust there at all. Just with like the people I met and all the friends and like the way we played just was pretty simple transition, which was good.
And how did you, as an Australian, going into that sort of system, did you kind of get welcome straight away, or was it kind of like a tough love at the start to see what you got?
Yeah, it was tough love for sure. The head coach he was going at me, he was going at the other freshmen, like challenging us straight off the bat, really seeing if we were really, like if we really had it in us. And but at the end of the day, it's just another challenge, and it makes it a lot more rewarding when you get through and gain the coach's trust. I think is the best way to put it.
And for any kid that sort of wants to take that college route, what's the best sort of example or words of wisdom that you could provide for them?
I think it's it's just about putting the work in at the end of the day, honestly, and playing your own game. If coaches recruit you to your school, that it's because they like the way you play. That I feel like that's just with everything too. Like even in juniors growing up at like New South Wales state teams, all that stuff, coaches look at you for what you're playing like as a junior. Uh, annoys me when I see like under 16s, under 18 state players, and they try just go straight to the system as soon as they're playing in that state team or stuff like that. They're just not even looking like themselves. That's the reason the coaches recruit them there. I think it's the exact same with college as well. I've seen so many people, even through my school, just completely lose confidence, and I don't know, just think that playing through the system is the reason or the best way to get minutes, the best way, all that stuff. And I just think it's just you try to put your game into the system first. So you play your way, figure out how that's making everyone else better, and go from there.
Because you make a great point there on confidence. Basketball is one of those games where it's literally based on confidence. Like you go out there and if you're confident, you can drop 30 and have a great game, where if you're feeling a bit down about yourself, it can affect you. You have one bad shot and you get yourself mentally. So how does William Cranston-Lown always stay confident and believe in his ability?
Yeah, for sure. I just think in my head, I believe that I work out so much that whenever I'm on that court, there's no one else that like you just got to have that mindset that you're the best player on the court, no matter who's on there, and just trust the work that you put in. Like you go to the stadium and you put up 500 shots, like what's the point of shooting them if you're not going to go shoot them in a game and not be confident while shooting it either. So that's just the mindset I go in every single game with.
Now you spent 3 years in Regis University. Every year you gradually got better. Your stats, your minutes, your game time. I know you had a bit of an injury there during your first year. What was that like, being injured and not playing?
It sucks, but at the same time, like you see the positives. I feel like I haven't really had much of an injury like that before that's put me out over weeks and a couple of months. So it really makes you like, I was down bad. Like I was missing basketball. I haven't played in a while. Like it, but it really makes you. The next time I got in the court, I was like, okay, I'm gonna play even harder than I did before, because who knows what might happen in this game. Like I don't want another injury to come up again, obviously. But if it does, was I playing my hardest? All that type of stuff. So it sucks, but I did see the benefits in there.
Now, following your 3 years at Regis University, what was that decision like? Did you have any sort of NBA draft prospects, or were you going to play overseas, or you just wanted to come home and figure it out from there?
I kind of always just wanted to play NBL. That's the goal. And I thought the best thing was to go through NBL1. I think going through college, I still wasn't getting anything out of that. So I just thought NBL1 would be the best way to show off, like who I am and how to play. Because I feel like if you went straight to Europe, like I feel like Australian coaches, all that stuff, won't really see that much. So that was my thought process.
Now, why the Maitland Mustangs? I know there's a lot of NBL1 teams out there. What made the Maitland Mustangs stand out and recruit you? So,
Um, well, it's kind of so Mitch Ruder, he was imported Maitland Mustangs, and he went to Central Coast to play. And when I went to Central Coast for Youth League, he was my head coach at Youth League, so I became real close with him. And then I just kept in touch with him all 3 years in college, and from there, I wasn't really going to go back to Central Coast, and he was putting in the good word, saying like you would fit perfectly at Maitland, and anything he says I trust, because he was such a good coach when I was there for Youth League. So, and after talking with Luke Boyle, who's the head coach of Maitland right now, like I didn't even second guess it after that. It was just like, it just felt like the perfect fit straight away, and so far it's just been a perfect experience. So.
Now, we had Chris Bryan on the show last week, and he talked about the Maitland Mustangs crowd and the gym being one of the most hostile, and he's probably his favourite place to play at. He's actually versing you guys this week. They're coming down. The Hills Hornets have the Maitland Mustangs coming up in a few games. What makes that Maitland Mustangs crowd amazing? Like, why are they different? Because, look, I've been checking out your record. All your games have pretty much been blowouts, except that one game against the Sharks. What is it about the crowd that gets you guys going?
Yeah, we have a really good crowd. We have like really loyal fans that they're just there every single game. They're there. You see them downtown throughout the week. They're saying, "Yeah, good game on the weekend. Like, can't wait for the next one." They're pulling up every single game. And I also think like the way our gym's set up, it's kind of like compact. Like we got like a good grandstand and then the wall on the other side, so it gets loud when when we make runs, all that type of stuff, and that really crowds really affects how games are played. Um, so yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, the NBL1 East, you've been in around the league for about 2-3 years now. 2024, how have you seen the growth of the league?
Oh, it's gotten better every year, easily. I think everyone's taken it more seriously every single year, that's for sure. Especially after seeing the transition from Waratah League, which it was before. Um, it's noticeably getting better. Imports are getting better, and I just think the promotion of it's getting a lot better too, which is allowing for those imports to think, oh, this is actually a really good league. Get better imports for it, and then I see a lot of people are just training harder at this point too. So teams are, and then there's also people moving from states to play. I know Manly got a couple, Central Coast got a couple players. They're all coming from like Victoria, Queensland, all that stuff. So people are actually making a lot more effort this year, I feel like.
Now, I've got to be honest with you. I have the Maitland Mustangs as the top dogs in the NBL1 East at the moment. I've got a few other teams sort of in and around there. Inner West Bulls, the Canberra team, Albury. You mentioned Manly. They've been playing lights out at the moment. Who have you guys got your eye on, and do you guys feel comfortable matching up against any team?
Yeah, I think pretty much all those teams you said just there. I think COE are also. I know they lost a couple of games earlier. I think they're going to start coming to life soon. They're just, I don't know, they'll be really good. I don't see them losing a whole lot more games. And then, yeah, Inner West and Canberra, they're both, we versed those guys, so we already know that's going to be a tough one when we verse them again. Manly, I haven't versed them yet, but excited to verse them. I think they're definitely better than last year. Who else? I still feel like Sutherland's right there. They did this last year too. They were like, I don't know what they finished, but they were like middle of the pack, come finals time. So they have a really good team. There's a whole lot of teams this year though. It's hard to even think who's going to make the top 8, but they're up the top there for sure. All those teams that we just mentioned.
No, beautiful. And my last question in regards to the NBL1 East is, look, you were 2023 MVP, and your stats this year are actually a bit better than last year. So is that another focus of you to get the MVP award?
Yeah, it would be cool. I remember I got it the day of the grand final last year, so it was like pretty ecstatic in the morning, and then I was down bad at night time. So at this point, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, it really doesn't bother me. The focus this year is, at the end of the day, it's to win the championship. So I'll just try to do whatever we can for that.
Beautiful. And what's next for William Cranston-Lown? What's your career projections and aspirations?
I just want to play at the highest level I can. Whether hopefully it'll be NBL. If not, I'm going to try to go overseas. I feel like. But right now, yeah, obviously still winning this championship. Like I just want to just win this championship. That's what I'm focused on right now. And later, hopefully, we'll just figure itself out. I'm not got nothing planned right now after this NBL1 season, so I just want to keep playing right now.
And look, the story of William Hickey last year, NBL1 East star, and then he ended up getting a chance down there at Illawarra Hawks for the NBL and kind of just took the league by storm. Does that kind of give you guys, I guess, the guys that are kind of trying to, up and coming players trying to make their name, does that kind of give you some inspiration that, look, it is possible from this sort of light or game that we're playing at the moment, we can actually take that leap forward in the NBL?
Yeah, 100%. Davo's, he always has had that. So as soon as he got that opportunity with the Hawks and he took it, it was just, he's pretty much set himself up in the NBL for years now after the season he just had. So it is motivating, and it's kind of inspiring for all us type of guys that are trying to do the exact same thing. So it is really good seeing all that.
Yeah, because it was mad watching him come off and just do the hustle plays early on, and then kind of get more game time, and then the offense started to take over and things like that. So yeah, it was definitely a great watch. And fingers crossed, yourself, you're next. Because look, your game is all round. You can do it all: facilitate, rebound, score. Got a shooting. Your shooting percentage is off tap too, which is crazy to see, and especially shooting the outside. What do you feel like? Is there any part of your game that you just want to improve on or fine tune for your career to sort of take that next step?
Yeah, honestly, I just want to keep getting better all around. I want to have no weaknesses in my game. So it's just like there's no issues on the court, whether it be on offense or defense. I still feel like I can shoot it better. From free throw, especially. Free throws, something going on there. I don't know. But yeah, free throws, and then I don't know. There's sometimes when I'm watching the games back and I'm just missing open people and stuff like that. So I just want to be able to kind of just read the game a little bit better. I feel like they're probably the two biggest things.
Now, look, you did mention that. Look, you guys don't want to lose back again, three-peat grand final losses, because that would sting. So is that something that fuels you guys, and do you guys all kind of understand in a way the pressure that you guys are facing to perform and get to across that final frontier?
Yeah, 100%. Like, not gonna lie, we're kind of like the laughing stock a little bit, where I'll go talk to some people, whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, but don't go choke in the finals again," stuff like that. You hear it from everyone I talk to, all that type of stuff, and yeah, you kind of just laugh it off at the same time, it's like we really don't want to lose that again. Like it hurt the first year, and let alone the second year. Like we're fully focused on trying to get this one this year.
Nah, beautiful. Now, look, we're gonna just talk about the NBA a bit. Do you follow the NBA often, and who's your team?
Yeah, I follow NBA. I'm a big. I wouldn't say I have a team. I'm a big LeBron fan. So I'm trying to think of who my next player is going to be after he's gone.
And following LeBron's journey, so I'm guessing, look, if you do follow a player, you kind of like to take bits and pieces of their game. What parts of LeBron's games do you kind of implement into your own game?
It's tough because he's also 6'8" and he's super athlete. So we got completely different bodies, but he does play point guard, I guess, most of the time, just in that huge body. But he just reads the game. He's one step ahead with everything. Like you see, he knows exactly what defense is about to start as soon as he catches the ball. He knows exactly what's going to happen on a pick and roll. So I just think he reads the game, just keeps it so simple for every single person on the court. It's kind of just like just something to take away from him, because I don't know, if anyone could do that, they'd just be elite at any level, honestly.
Nice. And who do you got coming out of the West and the East in the NBA Finals this year?
I think Boston will come out the East. I think they'll go pretty easily. And then I think the West is stacked right now, but I think it's whoever wins that Minnesota Nuggets series. I think, honestly, I feel like Minnesota could get away with it, but you can't rule out Nuggets at all. And Ant's just crazy. He's ridiculous. So I think whoever wins that will win the whole thing. Yeah, that series.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards has been balling, and I think exactly what you said about the Celtics. Oh man, like I love the Celtics, but it's kind of like that thing where they just got to get across that final hurdle to get there. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but they do have a starting five that can deliver now. With Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, so they're locked and loaded, and Derrick White has been balling out. So yeah, fingers crossed Celtics can get it done, because I'm riding the Celtics, man. My mate, one of my close mates, is a Celtics fan, and he's kind of, in a way, copped that same thing that you've been going, like, nah, you know what, they're going to choke and stuff like that. So once you can overcome that, I guess it makes it all worthwhile. So fingers crossed, Maitland Mustangs can get the job done. I can't wait to actually catch a few of your games and watch you play, because, as I said, you kind of are the focal point, the leader of that team. And I just want to give a special shout out to the rest of your team. Is there any player in particular that we need to keep a close eye on?
I think Billy Parsons is, for sure, he's ridiculous. He doesn't get any of the love he deserves. He's going to be one of the best players in this league. He should be getting NBL looks for sure. I could honestly go down the whole list. We got Matt Gray's probably one of the best shooters in the league. Once he starts finding his stride, he's going to start going. We already spoke about Christian. Jimmy Hunter's still I don't know. We're all around. Like, I'm gonna start naming the whole team, but yeah, especially I just think the biggest thing for us is our depth. Um, it's just like you look at who's subbing in, and you're not worried at all. Like whether it be our sixth man off the bench or our 12th man off the bench, but
Now,
we do have a whole lot of young guys coming through, which is really good.
now I know that you had some like Australian representative honors during your younger days. Is that something that you kind of have aspirations for in the future? To play for represent Australia?
Oh yeah, I would love that for sure. I don't think there's anything that would be better than that for anyone in Australia. Honestly, playing basketball, if you were to represent your country, no matter where it is. Um, and especially, I never got the chance when I was younger. I was just in the squad, never made the team. So it's definitely still on the bucket list for sure.
And look, I just want to give one more special mention to a boy from Bathurst, making sort of all the way down to Denver. So if there was another boy in Bathurst, kind of just got up at his local gym, what advice would you give him to sort of chase that dream?
Just whatever you're thinking, like you just go for it. Like at the end of the day, whether it's whether you hate it or love it, at least you know. So like you don't want to be what I'm 24 now. You don't want to be here sitting here going, oh, I wish I checked college out, or I wish I knew what it was like. Because at the end of the day, you only get that chance once. So I feel like that's the biggest thing, and just keep working towards it. Honestly.
Beautiful. And to finish off, we got our love of the game question. And I want you to rank these 5 Australian ballers. You got Matthew Dellavedova, Josh Giddey, Dante Exum, Paddy Mills, and Joe Ingles. I need you to rank them from 5 to 1.
So I'll start. Yeah,
It's tough.
that's a tough one. I'll put Giddy at 5 now, just because he hasn't had the. Are we talking through the Australian basketball or through NBA?
Through NBA. Through NBA.
Through NBA. I'll go Paddy Mills at 1. He's got the championship to show for it. Joe Ingles at 2. I'll say. Oh, so does Dellavedova does too. I forgot about that. Delhi at 2. Sorry, put Delhi at 2. Joe Ingles at 3. Giddy at 4. Exum at 5.
Yeah.
I think it will change over time. I think Giddy will.
No, I love that list. For me, Delhi is my Aussie GOAT. That 2015 series, when it was just him and LeBron and he was just chasing Steph, he kind of put Australian basketball on the map, if that kind of makes sense. We've always hustle plays and things like that. And that's one thing I want to ask you. The perception of Australian players in America, has that changed? Or when you were there, how was it? Because look, as I said, that was about 2015. When you were in the college system, it was about 2018 to 2021. Did Australian basketball get some extra love?
Yeah, for sure. That they still have that exact same thought process. They were calling, like they love bringing up that exact same situation you're talking about, that Delhi situation, because they just have that perception that Australians just play a lot harder, like just put their body on the line kind of thing for those effort plays, just like Delhi did that time. And I think that's exactly why college coaches love getting 1 or 2 Australians on their team for that reason exactly. So yeah.
No, beautiful. Yeah, because man, watching Delhi dive around, everyone's calling it dirty. I was like, nah, man, that's just the Australian way. That's the way Australian play. And that's what I want to ask you too. Did you have any other sports where you played in your junior days, like any rugby league or AFL or anything like that?
Yeah, I played rugby union growing up, all the way probably up till year 11, until I started taking basketball a bit more serious. So that was probably my main sport up until then. Also, I did swimming, I did athletics, but yeah, that rugby union is probably the main one. I went to rugby union high school, so it was more that than league.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, look, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I hope to catch one of your games live soon. So, when's your next game when you're up in Sydney?
We play next Sunday. Yeah, so not this weekend. Next one, we play this Sunday against Inner West, actually.
Inner West?
Yeah.
Definitely, I'll catch you at that game then.
Yeah,
because that would be a big game. That would be a big game. I saw the
Yeah.
Inner West boys play against the Norths, and man, they look like they got a sort of solid 5 also, where they just all hustle. So that should be a great game.
Yeah, they're a good ass team, so it should be a good game. I can't wait for that one.
Beautiful, then I'll catch you then.
Yeah, perfect. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, Will.
Yeah, thank you.